28.
Herb, did you call that guy and order the chicken?
Yeah, I ordered it just the way you like it, too, Don. Frozen.
Oh, good. I'm hungry.
You're hungry for food. I'm hungry for knowledge.
Well, call him back. Order a little knowledge on the side.
Why don't you turn on Beakman? He's food for thought.
Fact. Only female bees and wasps can sting. The males just don't get the point. I'm Beakman, and you've just broken into Beakman's World. My brain's on fire. Extinguish it with a question, please, Liza.
Here's one from John Clark of White House, Ohio. He writes, Dear Beakman, who invented the cotton gin and what famous hero was killed at the Alamo?
Ooh, timely questions, Mr. Clock. Eli Whitney invented the cotton gin, and Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier, was killed at the Alamo.
You got me.
Well, that's it. Hey, we're done early. All right. Ray, that's a wrap.
All right. Where do we eat?
How about Chinese?
Nah, I had that for breakfast.
How about Italian?
Nah, I had that for brunch.
How about Mexican?
Nah, I had that between breakfast and brunch for, brunch.
Well, let's think.
A Philadelphia veggie hoagie is always nice.
No, hoagies give me gas. Gadzooks. Look who's here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Franklin!
Hey, that's it? Just Ben Franklin? What?
I mean Ben Franklin, the world-famous printer, publisher, philosopher, politician, educator, author, general, diplomat, inventor, and scientist.
In the reconstituted flesh. I'm quite a dead guy. Care for a candy, miss?
What kind is it?
A Franklin Mint, of course. It's great for your constitution. Hello.
But you're quite a funny guy, Mr. Franklin.
What is this? The Bill of Rats? Hey, who's this guy's founding father? Willard? Hey, how do you like that stamp act? They should have thrown him overboard and kept the tea.
As long as you're here, Mr. Franklin, would you tell us about yourself? Like the famous kite experiment.
Why, I'd be delighted. Let's go fly a kite. Here, that's a kite. Now it flies. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, Mr. Ratman, hold on to that, will you?
Oh, why, I'd be honored.
A lot of people think Franklin discovered electricity, but he didn't.
Hey.
If he had, he would have called it Franklintricity.
Scientists of my day already knew about electricity, but they didn't believe me when I said lightning. When I said lightning and electricity are the same thing. So I built the kite out of a silk hanky and 2 cross sticks, exactly like the one Mr. Ratman is flying. Hey! Then I tied a sharp-pointed wire to the top of the kite. At the end of the string here, I fastened a key right there and a lovely silk ribbon. When the storm approached and a dark cloud appeared overhead, I flew the coop. I flew the kite.
Despite what the history books may say, Franklin's kite was never struck by lightning.
Then what am I getting here? Shock therapy? Show me what you got.
I'm afraid you're beyond therapy, pal.
He proved that thunderclouds are electrically charged when he touched his knuckle to the key and got an electric spark.
Hey, let's face it, Big Ben is a genius. Not a bad clock either, yeah.
Gotta tell ya!
All right, you can let go of the kite now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and hold on to this.
What's this for? Making shish kebab?
Oh, Lester, That's Franklin's greatest invention of them all.
Oh, no. Not the lightning rod. Whew. That was close. I almost got crossbuns.
Wait a minute, I know how this one works. It attracts lightning. What was that for?
For perpetuating a myth, little Mithy. Hey, actually, the lightning rod was designed to prevent lightning. Hey, you attach it to the roof of your house or your barn so it can continually draw off electrical charges from the clouds and send them harmlessly to the ground before they become big enough to make a lightning bolt. Hey, but if lightning does strike, the lightning rod, which is comprised of an iron rod and a grounding wire, guides the electrical charge through the rod and the wire and into the ground. Yeah.
And over the years, that saved thousands of homes and lives.
Hey, that's not all, babe. I invented dozens of other things, but I'm too modest to list them all here. Hey, Johnny, tell them what I've done.
Well, Ben, you also invented swim fins, the glass harmonica, bifocal glasses, the Franklin stove, a chair that turns into a ladder, some clocks, and, of course, that funny pole librarians use to get books down from the highest shelves. Back to you, Ben.
Well, I gotta shove off. Early to bed and early to rise, you know?
Makes a person healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Not necessarily, but it gets me away from the rat.
Hey.
Well, good night, everybody. Hey, and drive safely. Where's my driver? Bada bing, bada bang, bada ben.
But he's...
Coming up next, a challenge with appeal. It's good science and good eating, so don't slip away.
Beakman's World must now take a beaker break. And now, back to Beakman's World.
Pony up.
It's time to inflate your intellect. Here he is, the consigliere of continuity, the capo di tutti capos of computations, the mendicone of hold the phone, the one, the only, the Beakman.
You hook 'em, I'll cook 'em. Let's shake a tail feather.
I don't know. I'm watching the game here. Go ask your mother.
Question. Benny Williams of Wellesley, Massachusetts asks, why does your voice sound different when it's played back on a tape recorder?
Answer? A lot of the sound you hear when you speak is conducted through the bones in your face. Since other people don't listen through your face, they don't hear your voice the way you do. And neither does a good tape recorder, which plays your voice back as others hear it.
What do I sound like?
I think you'll be surprised. Say something.
I feel a lot of love in this room. Okay, play it back.
I feel a lot of love in this room.
This is worse than I thought. I'm a woman, trapped in a man's body, trapped in a rat suit.
That's nothing. We're trapped here with you.
Fast fact. The Brazilian railroad worm has a red light on its head and green lights down the sides of its body.
What are you chewing, Don?
Well, Herb, I've been working on this Brazilian railroad worm all the livelong day.
You ought to be working on your singing.
Question. What's the world's smallest tree?
Answer, the dwarf willow of Greenland grows to a height of only 2 inches.
Its number one enemy, the dwarf poodle.
Question. If Willie Mays was known as the Say Hey Kid, what was Helen Hayes?
Hold that thought, Liza. I'm all a tingle, a dither, and a gog.
Oh, bad cheese again, Lester?
No, it's time for the Lester Challenge. If you try any of our experiments, make sure that you do them with a grown-up and that you follow our instructions. Most important, be careful. Oh, Bryson, I challenge you to hammer this nail into this piece of wood using not a hammer, but rather a banana.
Then, you don't want me to hammer the nail into the piece of wood. You want me to banana the nail into the piece of wood.
Don't confuse me. I'm still new to this challenge stuff.
Okay, here goes.
Replay!
Sorry, Lester. Banana's too soft.
No can nail.
Let me try that. You're right. It is too soft.
Lester, this is where you show her how it's done.
I know, but I don't know how it's done.
Then why did you challenge her?
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
I got it. Ray, a little time lapse, please. Lester, the nail, please.
Oh, she cheated. She froze the banana.
That was brilliant, Liza. You see, a banana is 76% water. When you freeze it, it becomes 76% ice. And we all know how hot ice is.
Coming up next, plop plop, fizz fizz. Oh, what a change it is. You'll get a big reaction from chemicals after this.
Beakman's World will be back in a flash. And now, back to Beakman's World.
Lester, what are you doing?
Dusting.
Go to your hole.
Mail call!
What's up, Liza?
Romy Swanson from Scotts Depot, West Virginia, wants to know about chemical reactions.
Romy, chemical reactions are what happen when certain chemicals come into contact with other chemicals and new substances are formed. One rule of thumb about chemical reactions, things change. What?
A camera trick.
There are many kinds of chemical reactions. We'll show you 3 simple ones that correspond to events in everyday life. What's first? Our first type of chemical reaction is a wetting. A chemical wetting occurs when 2 chemicals grab onto each other to form a compound. This is also called synthesis.
A combination of separate elements or compounds now make like a tree and leaf.
Time for our wedding.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join ammonia and hydrogen chloride in wedded matrimony. If anyone present should know of any reason why these 2 chemicals should not be joined, let them speak now or forever hold their beakers. Let us scope unto it. Ah, matrimony. And they'll live happily ever after as something completely different.
In this case, that new and different thing is this smoky compound, ammonium chloride. I hope you'll be very happy together.
What's wrong, Lester? Oh, you always cry at weddings?
No, he's standing on my tail.
What have we seen?
Hey, things change.
Bada boom. Now, it is on to that chemical reaction we can call a divorce. But it is actually known as decomposition.
Oh, you again. Decomposition. Separation by chemical reaction. Who threw that?
What Professor Cranky is saying is that a chemical divorce is the opposite of a chemical wedding. Instead of forming a compound is broken down. Atoms let go of each other. For instance, when we break down water, which is called H2O, we get hydrogen and oxygen. I will now take water and separate it into hydrogen and oxygen. In order to break up the water, we have to use electricity, hence the battery. Let's hook it up. Since water alone doesn't conduct electricity, we have to add something to it that makes it conduct electricity. So I've already added just a little sodium sulfate. Since water is H2O, 2 atoms of hydrogen for each atom of oxygen, the tube containing hydrogen has twice as much gas as the tube containing oxygen. If only they'd communicated more.
Good riddance. But how do you know that one is really hydrogen?
And the other is really oxygen.
If I fill this test tube with hydrogen and hold a flame to it, we will hear a pop. Okay. Ray, I need a flame.
I got your flame, boss.
But if I fill the test tube with oxygen, Ray, I need a glowing ember.
He did it! He separated water into hydrogen and oxygen.
Final separation!
2 down and 1 to go. Get your chemicals do-to-do.
Our final kind of chemical reaction can be compared to dancing, and it's known as double displacement. It happens when elements or groups of atoms in 2 different compounds change partners to form new compounds. And about your corner, about your square, change your partner and comb my hair. 2 new compounds. Okay, enough dancing. Let's do some demonstrating. In each of these beakers is a chemical compound. Time to change partners. Wow! Look at that! Here's what's happening. Alman left and do-si-do. Change your partner and off you go. Bada bang, bada boom, bada blueberry blob. Better known as cobalt silicate. We also made sodium chloride. What's it all mean?
We told you.
Things change. And so, Romy Swanson of Scott Depot, West Virginia, chemical reactions happen when chemicals get together and make new and different chemicals.
Where do chemical reactions happen all the time? It's closer than you think. We'll be back in a flash.
Beakman's World will be back after these messages. And now, back to Beakman's World.
sorts of chemical reactions are happening all the time? Your body, inside of you, is a 24-hour chemical factory.
Why, there's millions of chemical reactions taking place in your body this second. Your cells combine the oxygen you breathe in with the carbon in your food to produce the carbon dioxide you breathe out. Your digestive system takes the food you eat and breaks it down into the chemicals that fuel and build your body. Why, even the thoughts that you think are chemical reactions.
Well, I'm having a chemical reaction right now that tells me it's time to go.
See you next time
On Beakman's World.
You know, Herb, I like to think that you and I have a little chemistry going, too.
Really? What happens when you're added to me?
A comical reaction.
Why don't you react with the remote and turn off the old test tube?
Okay? Poof!